today I wanna take a little bit of a break from a lot of the things that I talk about, and to talk about something a little bit more lighthearted and just like maybe something a lot more interesting. So today I want to talk about serial experience Lain and how that relates to Japanese identity. So I think we should start with synopsis of the anime. So the anime was released in the 90s. It's a great piece of media, and also yeah. Um, here's synopsis. So basically, the anime starts with a bang. As a student commits suicide, who is Lane's friend. After some time, Lane receives um, emails that her friend is alive and she is in the wire, which is the internet where she found God, and she asks for people to abandon reality and to like go to the wire and to like feel according to her more alive essentially. And it's very kind of similar to reality with social media. You basically have people posting things on just social media, very curated like aspects of their reality. And the thing is, um, and I've also seen how people do it, and they are aware. People are aware, and which actually leads to something called um, which actually, which as a response to that whole thing, uh, I think it's people are aware of it, and they know it. They just still do it, and as a response to that, people like nipple babies post very anachronistic posts on social media. Sorry, they post a lot of anachronistic posts on social media to to be like to be very relatable and things like that. So yeah, which by itself kind of leads to a simulacrum. So so the French philosopher Jean Baudrillard, sorry, this French philosopher Jean Baudrillard, in his book uh, Simulation in Simulacrum, um, points out for the the the, the, the 3-4 steps in which it begins. The first step is replication. You start processing on the internet. The second step is distortion. You start to do things to kind of like get more views and things like that, and the which leads to disconnection, and which is essentially you the reality you live in is very different from who you are on the internet, which the first step it leads to is a simulacrum, and a simulacrum is hyper reality. Sorry, which is social media in general. So, how does that all lead to Japanese identity? So, after Japan's defeat after the war and after the bombings, Japan had to quickly um, rebuild essentially, and who else wouldn't? Who else? And who else than the Americans? Because after the war, the Americans went to Japan and to essentially change Japanese society and um, to create the same market-based economy. And the way how they did it is with the beginning of the Korean War in the 1950s, and with the Korean War in the 1950s, they basically achieved a lot of they basically like rebuilt fairly quickly, um, which basically kind of like which I mean, which after a certain point in like the 80s or 90s, Japan even almost like tried even almost surpassed America, like when it comes to GDP. So yeah, how does that, and also how all of that essentially kind of is related to um, so basically, and as it all continued, we reached the 90s where with the internet, the advent of the internet, people start to get like bombarded with like a lot of info. But by the way, when I say Japan very quickly rebuilt, I mean quickly. Like um, by the 60s, like they had like a very like well established market economy, and like a lot of things were being like produced and churned by the hour, and people essentially could buy a lot of things. Like people who were not really like very rich actually managed to like amass like some wealth and to basically normalize it to just and like buy a lot of things, which and also and all that kind of led to uh, which and also how does that with also kind of like so yeah in a bunch of so yeah, in the 60s at the a bunch of like a bunch of like I don't know like a bunch of like in the 60s a bunch of like very very smart people at the at a very prestigious um uh, university basically in a very prestigious Japanese river in a very prestigious Japanese university asked what what is the meaning of all of this. Essentially, um, essentially, their question was how does that what is the meaning of all this? And because throughout a lot of the 20th century, with the with the war and the bombings, Japan had to restructure its identity, and a lot of regional differences essentially disappeared with this market-based economy, which uh, which is uh, understandable. A lot of people now with the market-based economy are depending on where they live in the world, they're essentially on the same level. Like they have the I would say the same amount of wealth, and they can buy like this buy like a lot of the same things. Which a lot of this was basically a lot of these questions were basically kind of like exacerbated with in the 90s with the advent of the internet and a lot of the bombardment with a lot of information, which led to a lot of which the internet itself actually led to a lot of social which led to a lot of the dissolvement of social cohesion, um, which is a lot of this which is a lot of this internet information, and all of this bombardment with information led to a lot of Japanese people basically like kind of like getting very much like I would say kind of like I don't want to say isolated, but like their idea of reality kind of changed with the internet, which kind of even we see today. Japan denies a lot. The Japanese government like denies a lot of its um, They and the thing is, in in the anime, Lain comes across a lot of people, even a lot of like extremist groups. Um, there is one group in the anime that tries to make it, that tries to like connect all people together, but like it does not really pan out how they planned. And basically, basically it's just postmodernism. Basically, what we see is just postmodernism. And and where does all this postmodernism? Where does all of this postmodernism lead? Well, I guess we'll just have to see. But like the anime does not really, in essence, the anime does not really support or really like deny a lot of this, a lot of the aspects that it really caused, like the social development. But like, I guess just like everything in today's internet age, we have to see where it all leads. So yeah, thanks so much for watching. This was it. Thanks so much for watching. I just thought that I wanted to like I wanted to take a little bit of a break from a lot of the like the real problems essentially that are happening in today's world. Just like go watch it. Go watch the anime. I watched it. It's very nice. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Goodbye.